fans. Deep seductive voice Daniel here to remind you to always be safe in the workplace. That means wearing all the proper PPE like safety glasses, gloves, steel-toe boots, and respirators. Until next time, here's a tip from Topsoil Terry.
Hey folks, welcome to another exciting episode of Just the Tip. I'm your host, Topsoil Terry, and today we're going to talk about specialty tools. Now there's a lot of stuff you can buy for not a lot of money that'll really help you guys out. We're going to go over those today. So first off, what I'm going to start with is a tool called a crow's foot. Now, it surprises me, in all honesty, how long these have been out. How many guys have never heard of these? See, what it is it's basically just a wrench that you can put on an extension or directly onto a ratchet. But when you've got a line that's down where you can't really get a wrench on it from one side and you don't have a lot of room, you can take this guy, slip it right behind there, put it on there, give it a twist, and bam, you got that line free so you can twist it off. They're not very expensive, and oh my god, these guys have saved me so many times I can't even tell you. So definitely worth looking into. Got another one for tight spots. More commonly, people know this one. It's a knuckle, and what it is basically just a swivel. See that? You can put your socket on there. So if you've got something that's at a funny angle, say a bolt that's down in a spot where you can't get to, you can't get your wrench in at that angle, you got this guy. It turns like that so you can get it. So that's a knuckle or swivel socket, some people call it. Speaking of things that you can't quite get to or see, Matco came out with this light, and I've probably bought about 10 of these for my friends and my family, and at least 2 or 3 for myself. These things come in handy. They're pretty bright. And the nice thing that I like about them is not only do they have a magnet, so you can just kind of stick it there, turn it on, and work on something, but because the light is on this side and it's so thin, there's a lot of times that I can just take this and stick it between some lines on the truck or underneath, some cables or just in a tight spot, and it allows me to actually see what I'm trying to look at. So anyone that's spent enough time under the hood knows what I'm talking about there. They're about 20 bucks. Great deal. I highly recommend one of these if you got a Matco truck in the area. Next tool, these are called jaw pullers. I've got 2 examples here. Got a 2-jaw and a 3-jaw puller. What these guys are used for is taking off pulleys or sprockets or anything like that. Now they can be dangerous. So when you're using these, just like every other instance that we give, you should always have proper PPE on, and you really want to be careful, because how these work is you latch these hooks on the back side of whatever you're trying to pull, and as you turn this guy, it causes it to put pressure on it so you can disperse it evenly on the back side, so hopefully you don't warp it if you're trying to save it, as opposed to trying to beat it relentlessly with a hammer and risking damaging it. Great tools. You usually buy these in sets pretty cheap. A lot of the name brand stores carry them. You can order them online. Definitely a lifesaver. The last tool we're going to talk about, not a lot of people think about, but this also comes in handy. It's toothbrushes. If you got a clogged line, or in the case of this one, we like to use these ones for the hollows for the S-cams. What you can do is you can trim this handle to length and put these in a drill and clean out the inside of surfaces. So it's a lot easier than sitting there all day trying to clean it with, a brush or something like that. You can just really knock it out really quick, and you can get to some spots that you normally wouldn't be able to reach. Like I said, a lot of hardware stores carry these, or specialty stores, and they make them in assorted sizes and materials. Like this one is metal. This one's plastic. If you don't want to scratch the surface, you just want to clean it. Both come in very, very handy all the time. Highly recommend these. So there's a couple of tools that'll make your life easier when you're working on your trucks. Till next time, I'm Topsoil Terry, and I've just given you the tip.